Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock, which means it's time for it's 9 o'clock on a Monday, which means it's time for a 5x5. This is where I take 5 subjects related to magic. I spend 5 minutes talking about each subject and move on to the next subject. Now, we're changing the format up just this week. The last couple of weeks, I've done a couple of live performances, commentary track specials, where I take some of my live performances from a real world situation, and then I do a commentary track over the top, so you can kind of see my thought process on why I do what I do and why I say what I say. And they've been very well received, so thank you very much, and we are going to do a few more of those. But a few people said they'd like to see something like that done with a stage performance. So, your wish is my command. You're about to see a full performance of me performing at Smoke and Mirrors in Bristol. Now, Mark Bennett's Smoke and Mirrors is one of my favourite venues to perform in. I perform there quite regularly. It's a wonderful venue, it really is, and you get a very adult audience coming along, and they're after magic and comedy. So this is not a family show. There is going to be swearing in this performance, but you're going to see, first of all, like a 30-minute set, and you're going to see the majority of the set. One of the tricks has been cut down because one of the tricks that I'm doing in this set is Toxic Plus. In Pigeon does not allow you to do full performances on any platform, including YouTube, of Toxic Plus. So it's been kind of edited down slightly, but you're going to see a full performance at Smoke and Mirrors, and then you're going to see that same performance again, but this time you're going to see a commentary track over the top. You're going to be able to hear exactly what my thought process is, why I was choosing the material I did, why I'm standing where I'm standing, why I'm saying what I'm saying, the choice of the material. I'm going to go through absolutely everything and leave no stone unturned. So if you're interested in seeing how to actually run a magic show on stage, this is something that you might want to watch. So without further ado, let's start off with the performance.
Hello! You guys having a good evening? Amazing. So my name's Craig. I am here to do some magic for you. Do I get an ooh? Congratulations on probably the single most sarcastic group ooh I've heard in my life. Now, there is an order of business. Before I start the show, I have something very important. This is the box of mystery. Oh, shut up. Box of mystery, this is going to become very important later on in the show. Now, I have I need somebody to help me. Hello there, sir. How are you? Very good. If I'm not looking directly in the eyes, I'm not being rude. The light's bouncing off your head. I feel your pain. Same haircut. Embarrassing. What's your name, sir? Andrew. So, Andrew, you're going to hold on to the box. Can you do that for me? Now, Andrew, very important. This box has become the biggest part of the show. So later on, Andrew, I'm going to shout out at the top of my voice, who's got the box? Now, Andrew, when I shout out who's got the box, you have a very important role. You see, what we're doing tonight is we're doing magic. Now, when you think magic, you think Las Vegas. When you think Las Vegas, you think a Las Vegas showgirl. So later on, when I shout out who's got the box, I want you to stand up with your feet slightly apart like this. Put one hand on your hip like this. Hold the box high in the air. Pretend you're a Las Vegas showgirl. What I'd like you to do is go, yoo-hoo, I've got the box over here. And so you understand your role in the show. We're going to have a practice. Okay. I love how you're just not looking at me thinking, thank fuck it wasn't me. Right, there you go. Sit down, I'll give you your cue. Right, here we go. Just so you know, you get this right, they'll go crazy. You get it wrong, we'll keep doing it until you do get it right. Here we go. Who's got the box?
I've got the box.
Wow. Wow. Frankly, that was a little too good. I knew you had no hair on your head, but apparently you have got a beard, so that's good. We also need someone to hold on to the key. Hello there, what's your name? Kim. How are you doing, Kim? You okay?
I'm doing great.
Good stuff. So, Kim, you're going to hold on to the key. Now, later on, I'm going to shout out at the top of my voice who's got the key. Now, you are the bodyguard of the key. You are the person that's guarding the key, so you have to be rough, tough, mean. So later on, I'm going to shout out who's got the key. When I do, I'd like you to stand up. And what I'd like you to do is hold the key in the air in your best New York gangster impression. I know you can do this. I was listening backstage. I'd like you to go, hey, yo, over here. Can you do that for me, Kim? Could you pass that back to Kim? Thank you very much. By the way, Kim, it's a very small key. Please don't lose it, because if you do, I'm fucked. Right, okay, so, are you ready? Who's got the key? Wow. That was amazing. Kim, goosebumps. That was so good. So we got the box, we got the key. Are you ready? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to show you the first trick I ever learned when I was about 6 years old. It involves a brown paper bag. What you're about to see right now is nothing short of a miracle, sir. You can see there's nothing inside the bag, is that right? What's your name, sir? Darren. Darren, watch very carefully. The hand goes inside the bag. Watch very carefully. I'm going to snap my fingers. Darren, when I do, name a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's up to you. Name that number right now. 4. Thank you. In the business, we call that easily pleased. He's there going, what the fuck are they clapping for? I was 5, it wasn't a great trick. However, I will show you a better trick. Nothing inside the bag. I also have a bottle of beer, an empty bottle of beer. I'm going to put a bottle inside the bag. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start the show by making the bottle disappear. I know. Here's what's going to happen. Watch very carefully. I'm going to count to 3. I'm going to snap my fingers. The bottle will completely vanish. You'll go nuts. We'll start the show. Here we go. Watch the bottle. Don't blink. 1, 2, 3. Bottle's gone. Thank you. That's the first part of this amazing trick. If I snap my fingers, the bottle comes back. Buckle in. It's this for another 30 minutes. So that'll be... No, I can tell you're not impressed. I can tell you're not impressed. Here's the deal. If I let go of the bag and the bottle disappears, would that be better? Yeah. Okay, very carefully. Watch very carefully. Do not blink for a second. Watch the bottle. Watch the bag. 1, 2, 3. It's gone. I've let go. Thank you. You do realize I'm going to keep doing this until you like it. So we can... Guys, we are doing a magic show. So if we're doing a magic show, we have to do some magic. Watch the bottle. Watch the bag. 1, 2, 3. That is indeed magic. Amazing. Thank you. So that's my part. Thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. No, we're just getting started. We're going to carry on. We're going to carry on. I need 2 people to come up and help me. That's right. It's audience participation time. Let me see. Hello there, sir. How are you? Another bald gentleman there. How are you doing? Yes. No, you, sir. What's your name? Eric. Eric. Nice to meet you, Eric. You look fun. Are you fun, Eric? I am. Very good. Eric, you look fun. The gentleman desperately not looking at me. What's your name, sir? That's kind of a weird name, but we'll go with it if you want to. Yes. Your name, sir. What's your name? Charlie. Charlie. Charlie, Eric, all I'd like you to do, very, very easy job, I'd just like you to do this. Of course you can both come up and help. Come on. There we go. Give them a big round of applause as they make their way up on stage. You stand that side. You stand that side. We'll line up with the world's shittest boy band. Very good. Okay. So what was your name again? Charlie. Charlie, everybody! Okay, and what's your name? Eric. Eric! You're slightly more popular than Eric, but that's it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. So this is a card trick, but it's not a normal card trick. It's not the sort of card trick where you pick a card and I find them. It's way better than this. Now, you have a very important job. Charlie, very, very important job. Where are you from? Plymouth. Sorry? Plymouth. No, I heard you the first time. I'm just sorry. Someone's got to be. It's what's going to happen, Charlie. You're going to take the cards, and you're going to count 10 cards into my hand, 1 at a time. Now, as you count the cards, they're all going to count along with you for 2 reasons. 1, I want everybody here to make sure that there are indeed only 10 cards. 2, you're from Plymouth, you might need to get some help. So, if you can count the cards nice and loud, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It took you a while, you got there in the end. Give a big round of applause. Very good. Pass the cards across to Eric, if you can. No. Yes? Yep. It's getting confusing.
I don't know if you were on me.
You hold those cards. I have an envelope. It was Charlie, right?
Yep.
Put the cards in the envelope, Charlie. Seal it shut. While he's doing that, count the cards into my hand. They will count along with you. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So much more professional. Put the cards in my pocket. Put them in my pocket. Make sure I can't get to them. And then take the envelope. Take the 10 cards. Put them inside the envelope. Seal it shut. While he's doing that, take this pen. What I'd like you to do is write your name on the front right there for me. Nice big letters. That's C-H-A-R-L-I-E. Lovely, that's good. Well done. Yeah, you did it. It's fine. My fault. I shouldn't have picked you. Right. You do the same thing. Not Charlie, obviously. That'd be dumb. Eric. E-R-I. Could be a K. Could be a C. That's perfect. Right. Okay. And then one more thing. Change places. Very good. Apparently that was exciting. So you change places. Wow. Yeah. Amazing. Right. Hold the envelopes out so everyone can see them. You as well. That's great. Now, here's the idea, guys. Watch the envelopes very carefully. Do not blink. I want you to imagine, use your imaginations. I want you to imagine that inside those envelopes, there's not 10 cards. I want you to imagine that inside those envelopes, there's actually £10,000. And we're going to take those, you're doing that so Debbie McGee, that was wonderful. What I'd like you to do is take those envelopes and put them somewhere so that nobody could find them. So even if you were going through airport security, they wouldn't find them. I'm going to be less subtle. Shove them straight down there, all the way down. No, along the front. Front, not side, front. Front, there we go, all the way. All the way so they're in there. I don't want them to go south for the winter. Very good. Arms down by the sides. Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the idea is very simple. We have an envelope with 10 cards. There. We also have an envelope with 10 cards. There. The idea is I'm going to make 3 cards disappear from here and appear over here. You will feel them go. You will most definitely feel them arrive. Okay, stand a little bit further forward. A little bit that way. There you go. A little bit further forward. It's very important that you are the same distance away from him as he is from you. Don't think about it too much. Right, now, unfortunately, most magic happens under the cover of darkness, which is why I use a handkerchief. Now, I'm going to step behind you right now. My advice is not to back up at this point, all right? I'm just going to reach around. Double jabbed. It's fine. Right, there we go. Hey. Whatever you do, do not bend down. Let me ask you a question, Charlie. Yep. Are you ready? No, let me explain. If you get excited, everybody else will be excited as well. So let's try this again. Excited. Yeah, I know, but tell your face. Let's do it again. Right, okay, you ready? Right, here we go. Charlie, are you ready?
Woo, yeah.
Okay. That was so rock.
They weren't as excited as I
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. Concentrate. Here we go. Card number 1. Here we go. Card number 1. Let's do it again. Think happy thoughts. 2 times in one night, Charlie. Come on. Card number 2. One last one. Say the magic words, Charlie. Viagra. Card number 3. Thank you very much. That's the first part of this amazing trick. The other part is to make them jump back. Shut up. Okay, here's the thing. I've got to ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question. We're going to ask lots of questions right now. It's impossible for 3 cards to have jumped across. I have been close to, but at no point have I actually touched your crotch. Do me a favor, reach in and take it out. The envelope, just to be clear. What's 10 minus 3? 7. Rip it open. Well, she's impressed. Right, 10. There's no more in there, is there? No. No more in there. You're going to count them. Hang on, wait. Into my hand, and they're going to count along with you. This is called building up dramatic tension. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards, people! They're going to go somewhere, haven't they? Do you want me to get it? I'll go in if you want. Go on then. Reach in. All the way. I don't want to touch it. Definitely don't want to smell it. Right. Rip it open. We'll do that. That was a very safe way of opening it. That's right. What's 10 plus 3?
13.
Now, here's what's going to happen. I know, and you're from America. That's good, right? Here's what's going to happen. In a second, you're going to count the cards into my hand. If there's 13 cards here, every single person in the audience will give a big round of applause to you, and me. Mainly me, but also you. Not you. Right, here we go. Count them, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 cards. Come on! Give a big round of applause to Eric and Charlie, everybody! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. You guys were amazing. You guys having a good time? Yeah! Having a good show? Fantastic. We're going to try and do something else right now. I'm guessing every single person has one of these on them. Mobile phone, do me a favor, take it out. It's not one of those stupid tricks where I borrow it off you and smash it up. I'm not going to take it off you, but I'm going to create a special moment today. And it's going to be very interactive. In fact, everything that you see tonight is going to be incredible. This is the thing you're going to remember. Now, what I'd like you to do, if you can, is I would like you to go ahead and open your calculator. And I'd like everyone to follow along, to keep me honest. When you've done that, show me the phone so I know that you've definitely got the calculator. That's amazing. And there's an AC button on there. Press the AC button a few times just to make sure it's completely cleared out. And we're going to create a special moment in time using a couple of different digits that you guys are going to give me. And it's going to start off with, you right there, sir. We should be on 176,809. If we are, give me a cheer. Yeah! You tell me, was that a random number? Yes! Could I have known yesterday what that number was? Yeah. Of course I fucking couldn't. But here's the thing. I said we were going to create a special moment in time, and we have. It's a 6-digit number. Look at the first 3 digits. 176. Because today is the 17th of June. Now look at the last 3 digits. 809. Look at the time. It's exactly 809. Right now, you lot have created the exact date and time that we're at right now. What's exciting is that's never worked before, so we got to share the moment together, which is lovely. Now, does anybody here? You guys are all going, what the fuck? Does anybody here watch Britain's Got Talent? Did anybody remember last year there was a cute little 9-year-old kid doing magic with Rubik's Cubes? Nobody. It's a fickle bitch, isn't it, show business? So that was actually my son. Now, I know, he was on Britain's Got Talent. He did magic with Rubik's Cubes. He can solve a 3x3 Rubik's Cube blindfolded in 7 seconds. Yes. Now try to get him to tidy his room. That's never going to happen. I have to one-up him, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to one-up him, showing you something that I think I'm the only person in the world to do what you're about to see right now. And before we start, I'm going to take these cards. We need to straighten them out because obviously some of them are face up, some of them are face down from what we did earlier on. And let me see. What's your name? How you doing, Amy? You okay? Enjoying the show? Good stuff. Amy, you're going to grab a card. Now, they're all there. They're all different, as you can see. Because you're all the way down there, I'm just going to riffle down the deck with my thumb. You're going to say stop. Wherever you say stop, that'll be your card. So anytime you want to, just say stop. That's lovely. So I'm going to show you the card. Can you remember the card? Very important you remember that card, because later on when I dramatically say, this is your card, if you go, I don't know, it loses impact slightly. So if you can remember it, that would be great. I'm going to leave it down in the middle of the deck, case the cards, so there's no way I can find that card. Is that fair? Remember the card. Now, I'm going to show you something that I guarantee you I'm the only person in the world you're about to see. I have inside this bag a Rubik's Cube. But it's not a normal Rubik's Cube. It's very difficult to get one of these. This is a 7x7 Rubik's Cube. I know, it's fucking hard to solve. Do me a favor, sir. Can you just give this a mix-up for me? Do me a favor, when you finish mixing it, if you could put it back in the original order, that would be amazing. Take your time, by the way. I get paid by the hour. That's wonderful. I mean, this is a very difficult cube to solve. Are you done, sir? Very good. We're just going to square it up like this. So, if I told you I could solve this cube, would that be good enough to get a big round of applause? Yes! Great. Sit down for an hour and a half and we'll be... No, that wouldn't be very good. What about if I told you I could solve this Rubik's Cube in 10 seconds? What about if I told you I could solve this Rubik's Cube in 10 seconds with one hand? What if I told you I could solve this Rubik's Cube in 10 seconds with one hand without even looking? This is the sort of thing that you'll go home and you'll tell your friends, your friends' friends, your friends' friends' friends. In 50 years' time, you'll tell your grandkids about the moment that you saw a fat magician on stage solving a Rubik's Cube in 10 seconds with one hand without looking. A 7 by 7, that's what I'm going to do. I've even told you what I'm going to do. Everybody, can you see that cube in there? Watch. Oh, there you go, there you go. Is that better? Watch carefully, do not blink. The reason I put it in the bag is because that way I can't look. Here we go. One hand, looking this way, in a bag with 10 seconds. Now, when I say go, you're going to count 10. Now, do me a favor. Don't just go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need a few seconds for this, okay? So, 1, 2. We want to kind of go showbiz with this, okay? And then on 10, I'll show you this cube is solved. Here we go. Are you ready? Yeah. I said, are you ready? Yeah. 3, 2, 1, go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
9, 10. There we go. It has indeed solved, thank you. You probably don't believe me. I wouldn't believe me. But, guys, I think that is pretty good. One slight change. How's that for you? I think that's good. That's good. But here's the thing, I had a few extra seconds while I was in there, so not only did I solve a 7 by 7 Rubik's Cube in 10 seconds, in a big loud voice for the first time, what was the name of your card? The card you picked. Remember the one I told you not to forget? What? Thanks for helping. There you go, the 8 of Hearts. I had a few extra seconds in there, so I did something on the other side. The 8 of Hearts. The 8 of Hearts. Amazing! And then we got time for one last one. What do you guys reckon? You in time for one last one? I want to show you my signature trick. Every magician has a signature trick. This is mine. In fact, many, many years ago, I entered Britain's Does Variety on Sky TV and won with this very trick. It's exactly the same as Britain's Got Talent, but with like 15 million less viewers. There's no difference. I'm going to go for somebody at the back. Let me come into the audience right here. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, you look fun. You're pointing at him. What's so special about him?
He's everything.
Everything. What's your name, sir?
Dave.
Dave. Would you like to come up and help me?
I'd love.
Coming up, Dave. Amazing. Coming up, Dave. Excellent. Stand right there. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Dave, everybody. Good stuff. Dave. We're going to finish by my signature trick, okay? Now, before I start, I'd like you to give these cards a shuffle. Make sure they're all mixed up. Make sure there's no special order. Make sure they are what they appear to be. A deck of 52 playing cards. Ooh, look at that. It's fancy. That's actually very impressive. That was good. That was good. What Dave just did there is a waterfall shuffle. Very few people that can do that, Dave. That's really good. Now, when you become a magician, you can do one of these. This is called a Pharaoh shuffle. It's exactly the same thing, but you can do this last bit with one hand. This is the hardest one of the lot. You take the deck with one hand. You cut the deck with one hand. Forget that one. Should we do it again?
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Pick it up. Don't worry. I'm going to do that. Oh, no, you.
Give him a moment.
It's okay.
Oh, God.
You did well. Right, let's try again. Here we go. You take the deck with one hand. You cut the deck with one hand. You shuffle the deck with one hand. You do everything with one hand. That's called a lonely guy with way too much time on his hands. Spent all my college years while you guys were having sex. I was sitting in my dorm room shuffling my deck. So there we go. That's why the cards are so sticky. You know. Of course you do. You're going to grab a card, okay? So I'd like to pick a number card, not a picture card, any card with a number on. There you go.
Oh, not one of those.
It's okay, don't worry about it. It's just... If I can get rid of that one and that one, there we go. At least I know it's not the 5 of spades. Hey, grab a different one, mate. I don't really care at this one.
I've got one.
Oh, you've got one?
Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah.
You're happy with that one? Would you like to throw it on the floor? You can do it if you want. Huh?
It's good.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah.
You're happy?
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to give you a pen. What I want you to do, not to keep. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you this pen. You're going to write your name on the face of the card. Not on the back, on the face. Not on your face, on the face of the card.
Got it.
Big letters. Okay, write your name on there. Underneath, if you could put your bank account number and sort code, that'd be amazing. Pin number.
Can you make it work?
You know, when I read the script, you didn't even have a fucking speaking role, but that's fine. Right. Don't show me the card! Right, you're going to put the card back. Are you ready? As I go, what the fuck are you doing? Right, okay, hang on. It's not ninjutsu. Right, okay. I'm gonna go down through the cards. You're gonna say stop. Wherever you say stop, we're gonna put the card back. Anytime you want to.
Stop.
Before I get to the end. I go very quickly. It's why I was single for so many years. I'll count to... Oh, you have the same problem. That's good to know. Let's do it this way.
Stop.
There. Put the card back there. Are you happy? Should be at this point. I can't even remember your name. What was your name again?
Dave.
Dave. How can I not forget that? Right, Dave. As far as I'm... Why me? Come to Bristol, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Fuck this shit. Right. Give the cards a shuffle again, Dave. Bob, whatever the hell your name is. And I don't want to shuffle...
Dave.
It is Dave. Okay, good. Good to know. And I don't want to even touch those cards anymore. Yeah, you're going to hold on to them?
Excellent.
Okay. Now, the idea is very simple. The idea is, when he's finished shuffling, we're going to stand back to back. I'm going to have you take the cards, and you're going to hold them spread out in between your hands. Okay. The idea is that you can take the cards, and you're going to throw them over your head. Okay. You're going to throw them over your head, over my head.
Okay.
I must stress the use of the word over my head,
yeah.
not into my head. I'm quite tall. Now, as the cards go over my head with ninja-like speed and dexterity, because when you look at this, you think ninja, I'm going to reach into the air, pluck one card out of the air, that will be your signed card, and they will go crazy. Big finish.
Love it.
I know, it's amazing, right?
It's awesome.
Even better, I'm going to do this blindfolded. I know. Now, basically, I'm blind at this point. Genuinely, but I also have this. You can't see through that, correct?
No.
No, you can't. Now, I'm going to put this on. We're going to stand back to back,
Okay.
over my head,
Yeah.
up in the air,
Yeah.
one card, end of trick.
I'll throw the whole set over your head.
No, just throw one of them. Yes, the whole set. The whole set.
I'm just
Right.
checking.
It's okay. It's okay. We're doing well. Right. Now, two things. When I drop this blindfold over me, I'm not going to be able to see you, so please follow my instructions.
Okay.
Two, when I drop this over my head, when I take it off, if you lot have gone, that's not funny. And if that happens, I will track you down and show you every single card trick I know. No one wants to see that. Right. I beg your pardon? Oh, the cards. Right, okay, that's fine. Here. Don't say that when I've got my arse against yours. Right, okay. Right. Dave, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Are you lot still here?
Yay!
This is a good start. Right, not till I say.
No.
Up and over. That's the only angle you need to worry about, Dave. Right, here we go. Fuck's sake. Right, Dave, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Once again, if you get more excited, they'll get more excited. Dave, are you ready?
I am so
Are you not ready? Dave,
Yes.
throw the cards. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Ninja.
We have a slight problem. I was a little premature.
I can relate. Well,
Mess.
thanks for coming to Smoke and Mirrors. I hope you had a great time. Do not fucking leave a review on TripAdvisor.
Shall I go now?
No, you're sticking around. There's an old thing in show business, you never blame the person that you've got on stage with you. I would like to point out there's 2 of us on this stage. One of them is a multi-award winning magician. Wasn't him.
That's very kind of you. I didn't realise.
You didn't realise you're not meant to be funnier than me, Dave. You get that right? Okay. Right, look, some of the cards are face up, some of the cards are face down. Dave, point to any face down card.
Point at a face down.
Yeah, because obviously a face up card's not going to be your fucking card because
There's
it's
one.
that card right there.
That's a face down.
That's a face down card.
Yes.
We can fix this.
Okay.
Dave,
Yes.
bunch of face down cards.
Both of them.
This one right here,
Yes.
you picked.
Yes.
Was this your card? Would have been good.
It was very close.
Was it?
It was very, very close.
Okay, I can fix this.
Ace of Hearts.
That wasn't even close. I can fix this.
Okay,
With
okay.
4 words, I can fix this. And the 4 words are... Who's got the box? Oh, God. For the next 5 minutes, you're doing that over and over again. It's amazing. It's warm. All right. Who's got the key? That was amazing. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. Now, we have a box with a padlock and we have a key. The key goes in the padlock. What a surprise.
Very good.
Now, when you take this padlock off, you'll notice that there's 2 things inside that box. There is a little vial containing nothing. There is also a silver pillbox containing something. Now, in a second, you get to choose one of these. If you choose the little vial containing nothing, here's what I'll do. I'll get you to cup your hands together. I'll unscrew the vial of nothing. I will take the nothing. I'll pour the nothing into your hand. You can then take it away, keep it. Just don't say I never give you nothing. It's a long way to go for that joke there, Dave.
It's a long way.
If, however, you want the little silver pillbox, then you get to keep what's inside as a magical souvenir. Are my instructions clear, yet stupid?
Yes.
Hold your hand out for me. First of all, which object would you like?
I'd like the silver box.
Good job. I haven't got a joke for the vial yet, so that's great. Right. We'll put those over there. Right, now think about this. Hold your hand out nice and flat. There we go. That goes right there. Think about this for a second. This box, that wooden box, was given out at the very, very beginning of the show to our crack security team over there. He's been holding it from the very beginning of the show, and he has been miles away from key team number 2. That's you, love. This box was inside that box that was locked up from the very, very beginning of the show. There was a little button on the side of the box. First of all, press the button and tell everyone what kind of object is inside. It is a little fold. Not yet. Building up.
Okay.
There's a little folded up card in there. One person, thank you. Now here's what's going to happen, remembering this is the big finish to my show. In a second, you're going to take that card out.
Okay.
And then what you're going to do is you're going to open it up so you can see the face.
Okay.
If that just happens to be your card, which would be impossible, by the way, but if this turned out, say hi from me, by the way. If that happened to be your card, you will turn it around, you will say, that's my card, at which point every single person in this audience will blow the roof off Smoke and Mirrors for the finale to my show. Take the card. Very good. First of all, unfold it. Don't do that. Dave, unfold it towards you. And if that's your card, you're going to turn it around, you're going to say, that's my card, they're going to go crazy.
This is my fucking card.
That is his fucking card! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, please, give it a hang on a minute. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. Give a big round of applause to Dave, everybody! Thank you so much. Thank you, Dave. By the way, at Smoke and Mirrors, we always like to give a souvenir to a member of the audience. The person who is the best volunteer. Dave, you are without a shadow of a doubt the best volunteer that I've had this night. So you get a prize. Are you ready for your prize, Dave? Thank you for... You can have your watch back, mate. There you go. This is... might be needing that, yeah, mate? Just a little bit. That's for you. Thank you very much. Give it up for Dave, everybody!
So I hope you enjoyed that. That was the performance at Smoke and Mirrors, and a big thank you to Mark Bennett for booking me on a regular basis and being just so awesome. Now we're going to have a look at the same performance. This is exactly the same performance, but the audio is dropped down, and instead I recorded a commentary track over the top, so you can see exactly what I was doing, why I did it, why I was saying what I was saying. And hopefully, if you're new into stage magic or you're wanting to transition from close-up magic to stage magic, this might give you a few ideas that will help you do that. So without further ado, let's get into this. This is the commentary track of me performing on stage at Smoke and Mirrors. Okay, so this footage is shot at Smoke and Mirrors, which is one of my favourite places to perform at. The one thing that I will say about Smoke and Mirrors is it's an adult crowd, it's an over 18s crowd. And because of that, you'll probably hear me adapting my performance style to fit to the crowd. So the crowd at Smoke and Mirrors tends to be like a comedy club style crowd. There's a lot of hen parties, a lot of stag do's, a lot of people that have been drinking when they actually get to the actual show. So because of that, you are going to hear bad language. You are going to, you are going to hear that. Now, I know that there's going to be people out there that say, oh, you should never use bad language in a show. My attitude is very simple. You adapt your performance to the audience in front of you. If I'm doing a family show with adults and kids, it will be a completely different Craig Petty that's performing in that environment to this sort of environment here at Smoke and Mirrors. And I think that's important that people do. And I think the problem is a lot of performers, they just have the one style and they don't deviate from it. But I think that you have to. I think that you have to adapt your material. I think you have to adapt what you do to the audience that's in front of you. Now, they've just seen Mark Bennett. I've come out in the second half. So the thing with Smoke and Mirrors, if you've got to be good, really, because if you're not good, they'll actually tell you straight away. So, we've talked on this channel many, many times about opening routines and how to open. And I've said many, many times, when you open on stage, you have to open with something that's very quick, very visual, grabbing the audience's attention. Now, that is true. So you're probably thinking, well, how come I'm not doing that here? Because the first, maybe 3 or 4 minutes of this performance is me just basically handing out a box. Well, this is obviously the Steve Spill, Doc Eason style presentation that you would see in something like Bill and Lemon. I've adapted it to the destination box. The particular routine I'm doing here is Destination Mistake. It's one of my favorite routines to perform. And it allows me to do a couple of things. The first thing it allows me to do is establish my character at the very beginning. Rather than going into a trick, I want to establish the type of person that I am, which is, you're not going to see slick magic. You're not going to see card manipulations. You're not going to see thimble manipulations. You're going to see somebody that's up for a laugh, that's going to take the piss out of them. He's going to take the piss out of himself as well, which is kind of what this particular venue needs, right? And by using the opening to Destination Box, first of all, it allows me to establish that character. Now, that's not so as important in Smoke and Mirrors because they've come to watch a magic show. But a lot of the places that I perform at are corporate events. And at a corporate event, there's going to be people sitting in the audience. They haven't come to see a magic show. They don't think they like magic. So by spending the first few minutes, just chatting to them, interacting with the audience, it kind of gets people that are on the fence to go, okay, well, let's actually watch this because this looks like it could be good. Now, different people will do that in different ways. When you watch Mark Bennett, he won't open with something visual. You'll see him open with something like crowd work. And Mark is amazing. He's literally written the book at crowd work. But this allows me to kind of establish my character. The other thing it allows me to do is bring the performance full circle, which I'm very, very keen on. So at the beginning of the set, I bring out the Destination Box. I give it to the audience or a member of the audience. I give key to somebody else in the audience. And then at the end of the set, the final reveal is going to be using the Destination Box. It allows me to bring everything full circle, which I really believe. Now, we're kind of into the first trick now. So as soon as I've given out the box, as soon as I've given out the key, I'm into the first trick. And you know what? I have various different ways that I'll open a set. But Vanishing Bottle is one of my favourite ways to open a set. And I know some people go, well, it's kind of an older thing now. I've had people say, oh, it's been exposed on TikTok. And honestly, it hasn't. I love Vanishing Bottle because, again, it allows me to really establish my character. And like I say, my character is that of somebody who can do magic, obviously, but magic's not the most important thing. The most important thing is kind of having a good time, the comedy, just interacting with the audience. That's the most important thing, which is why I start with the gag of putting the hand in the bag and asking someone to name a number, and it's the fingers pointing up. If you've never done that gag, and I know it's as old as the hills, I'm telling you right now, that gag always works. It's one of those gags that always works every single time. And then I'm going into the Vanishing Bottle. Now, I have done Vanishing Bottle as an opener for years. What I love about it is it kind of sets the bar very low. Like, so when you're finally going into this magic trick, you're going into this thing where you're making the bottle disappear. They obviously can see how the thing works. It looks like you're just playing it up for a laugh. And then that moment at the end where the bottle actually does disappear, they kind of go, oh, okay, well, this guy can really do magic. So it is quite quick, you know, as a routine. It's over in a couple of minutes. But like I say, the most important thing is it allows me to establish credibility. Now, my show is very interactive, both interacting with people in the audience and interacting with people that come up on stage. So what I try to do is, after my opening routine, is bring a couple of people on stage. Now, it's worth talking about this just for a couple of seconds, because I know from speaking to people, one of the biggest problems that a lot of magicians have, especially people that are new into magic, is bringing people up on stage. And if you're ever going to have a problem with it, it's going to be somewhere like at Smoke and Mirrors. I believe that it's in the... what am I going to say here? It's in your attitude. You know, if you're coming across as a little meek, like, would you mind helping me, please? Please, will you help me? They're never going to come up on stage. It's never going to happen. The way to get somebody to come up on stage is almost kind of give them no choice without being mean or nasty. You don't want to know, like, hey, you get up on the stage, but hey, what's your name? John, nice to meet you. Everyone's going to give you a big round of applause as you make your way on stage, or something like that. You need to be confident, because people will smell weakness. And if you ask the question, if you go, right, I need someone to come up on stage, will you please help me? Will you please help me? A lot of the time it's going to be no. And I've seen experienced performers perform on a stage and really struggle to get people up on stage. Now, the routine that I'm doing here is my adaptation of Superfly. So Superfly is by Scott Alexander. It's one of the best tricks ever made. It's my favourite cards across, and I include Matt King's cards across in this. I love it. The late, great Scott Alexander was an absolute genius. Now, over the years, I've completely changed the method. The method is nothing like Superfly at all. It's a completely different method. And the reason I did is because Scott's routine, whilst being brilliant, which it is very, what's the word I'm looking for? There's a lot going on. You know, he's going out, he's getting a member of the audience to go out into the audience and do silly voices and everything. And that works for Scott. It doesn't work for me. I want to make it a little bit more direct and a little bit more sort of snappy, if that makes sense. So the method has been changed around completely. I'm only using 2 envelopes. I'm not using a stack of envelopes. And I'm palming cards instead. And during this whole sequence, you're seeing that the cards are being palmed. Now, obviously, the gag is still there, which we'll talk about in a minute. But what you just saw is you saw the whole sequence where I was palming the cards. I know that there's people in Magic that are scared with palming cards, and honestly, all I can tell you is you shouldn't be. Notice when I have 2 people up on stage, I can block the cards very, very easily just by taking 1 step closer to the person on my right. So by taking 1 step closer to the person on my right or on my left, it completely blocks the fact that I'm palming cards. Now, the key thing when you're palming cards, in this case I'm palming 3 cards, is that you focus attention somewhere else and don't feel guilty about it. You know, a lot of magicians feel guilty. They hide their hand behind their back or something like that. You shouldn't do that. When you're palming cards, the most important thing is that it feels really natural. I've talked about this before on the channel, but imagine that you've got a frame of action, and inside the frame of action is everything that people focus on. And if there's something outside of the frame of action, they don't focus on it. So initially, when the cards are being counted, they are inside the frame of action. But then I shift the frame of action somewhere else so that the cards that are palmed are taken out of the frame of action almost immediately. It's basics of misdirection that people really need to learn. Now, if you know Superfly by Scott Alexander, the moment where the cards jump across, I have kept pretty much exactly the same as how Scott did it, because it is funny. Now, I've had conversations with magicians in the past in that, is this something that you can still do today? Well, I do this at every single stage gig, or not every single stage gig, but most stage gigs I will do this. Again, it's about knowing your audience. I'm not going to do it at I'm not going to do it at a kids' party or, a family festival or something like that. But I'm absolutely going to be doing it at a corporate event, a military base, a nightclub, a bar, somewhere like Smoke and Mirrors, a holiday park. This is absolutely just incredibly awesome. Also notice that when you've got spectators up on stage, my character is that of somebody, I'm taking the mick out of them a little bit, but in a playful way, but I'm taking the mick out of myself just as much as I am them. And it's really important for them and the rest of the audience to realize that I'm not being mean, I'm not being nasty, I'm just joking around. I've never had anyone have a problem with this at all. In all the years of doing it. Now, I will say that I changed the gimmick from the one that comes with Superfly. So if you're wanting to learn this routine and you get Superfly, first of all, the method is completely different to what I'm doing. But second of all, the gimmick is very different as well. Scott used a sort of a zombie gimmick and just a normal handkerchief. I'm using The Thing by Bill Abbott. And the reason I use The Thing is because it's really the best way to do that. It looks like what it's meant to look like. It looks like a penis, without two bones about it. It really does. So, yeah, I love using that gimmick in order to do this particular routine. The other thing is, don't underestimate cards across. I mean, in essence, all this routine is a cards across, 3 cards jumping across from one place to another. But the thing with cards across, it is such a classic of magic. And it's a classic of magic for a reason. It just works. It works really, really, really well. And you're going to see here the reaction to this particular trick. Now, when you're getting for me, the end of the routine that you're seeing now, this is the money shot. This is the most important moment. It's all really been building to this moment. So there's a couple of things that you need to make sure of when you're doing this. So first of all, clarity. People need to understand they had 10 cards in an envelope. They had 10 cards in an envelope. That clarity is so important because if they don't understand that, there is literally no trick. Second of all, notice when I get the person to count, I'm not saying count it to yourself, because if I say, I see magicians do this where they get the spectator to count the cards and confirm the 7. The thing is, at that point, that spectator could be in on it. If you get them to count the cards one at a time and you get the audience to count along with you, so you have the 7 cards in your hand, that's going to get a great reaction. But then you almost like stop that reaction. You go, well, hang on a minute. They've got to go somewhere. And then you have the other person do exactly the same thing. And notice I reframe at that point. I say, think about it. This envelope's been here the whole time. You put the cards in the envelope as well. If there are 13 cards here, everyone's going to give you a big round of applause. Now, I know that there's some magicians that will say, don't ask for applause. I have no problem with that concept. I have no problem saying, if that's there, people are going to go crazy. That is not an issue for me at all. But yeah, so what we have there is we have the cards across routines, which I've put on the Netrix, the handling of that, if you do want to learn that and you are a Netrix user. The most important thing of my show is I like it to be interactive. I like my show to involve as many people as possible. I like to get people to come up on stage, and even when I'm doing pieces where I've not got people up on stage, I want to be able to interact with individual members of the audience. And you see that in the Vanishing Bottle in the first routine. I didn't have anyone up on stage, but I did say, hey, can you name a number for the gag with the bag? And you can say, hey, you're speaking to every single member of the audience. So it's why Toxic Plus is one of my favorite routines ever. Now, you're not seeing a full performance of Toxic Plus here just because Ian Pigeon doesn't allow a full performance of Toxic Plus to appear on the internet. And I don't want to be annoying Ian Pigeon, but if you are wanting to do an incredible trick that works in stage, it works in close-up, it works at banquet, it works everywhere, then Toxic Plus is a fantastic routine to do because every single member of the audience interacts. Every single member of the audience is kind of involved in the trick. They've all got their phones out. And the amount of people that will ring me up and they'll go, you know what, we wanted to book you because We saw that trick to show that you did, and we've still got the screenshot of the calculator on my phone. It really is a strong piece that does lead or leave a lasting impression on an audience. Now, the next routine I'm going to go into is Cube Buster by Henry Harrius, and I love cube magic. Now, when I do close-up, I do quite a lot of cube magic. When I go on stage, I don't do too many at all. In fact, I've got one cube routine that I do sometimes. And obviously my son Ryland does a lot of cube magic. I don't really do that much, but this is one that I love because for me, look, here's the thing with cube magic. You can do like half an hour of cube magic, and Ryland has in the past done half an hour of cube magic, and you can make it very, very eclectic and very, very different, and you can combine techniques and so on and so forth. But for me, what am I trying to say here? For me, the main thing with a cube is solving it. That's the main thing that people want to see. When you bring a cube out, they want to see that you can solve a cube very, very quickly. And the reason I like cube magic is because everyone knows what a cube is, and everyone therefore knows how impossible it is to solve a cube. So when you bring out a mixed up cube and you show that you can solve it quickly, it gets a great reaction. So the reason I like Cube Buster on stage is because it's a bigger cube. It's a 7x7. And because it's a 7x7, it seems more impossible. The other thing is, I love the fact that you've got that extra kicker at the end of Cube Buster. And I've got lots of different Cube Busters and different ways of doing the final reveal. But the playing card, I think, is still my favorite. Because it allows me to transition from a card trick into a cube trick, because obviously I've just done the cards across. I've got the cards in my hand. I can have somebody pick a card, and from picking the card, I can then put the cards away and go into the cube routine. So a 7x7, if you've never bought a 7x7 out in front of an audience or shown it to an audience or a spectator, they are just blown away. They have no clue. They've heard of bigger cubes, but they've probably never seen one before. So when you bring out this 7x7, it's great when you can bring out a prop that they can relate to that has such an impact on them immediately. So they mix the cube. Now, I had a chat with a magician about this a little while ago, and the magician I was chatting to said, the problem with Cube Buster is that the solve takes place in the bag. And honestly, I don't think that's a problem because they can all see the cube in the bag. So they all know that the cube is in there. And you put one hand in there and you obviously solve the cube with one hand. And when you do, the audience really just... It gets two reactions. The first reaction it gets is when the cube is solved, because that's impossible. They've mixed it up. It was put into an empty bag. They can see it in the bag. It's solved, and now the bag's empty. It gets a really strong moment. And then the other moment is then immediately you show the card reveal on the other side. It's a great trick. If you are a stand-up performer or stage performer and you want a 3 or 4 minute piece to fill time, this is great. It can slot into almost any part of your act. Now, it's worth, while I'm finishing this on the video, it's worth talking about music. So I tend not to do much music in my show, in my cabaret show. There isn't that many music cues. You saw Superman being played during the Cards Across routine. And occasionally, sometimes, I'll have a piece of music here while the cube is being solved, but very, very rarely. Now, I think that music really adds when you perform, when you do a show. I think that music really adds 100%. But again, it's about knowing your style, and it's about knowing the style of magic that you do. And I don't really need music. I don't need music playing in the background as I'm doing the trick. I don't need music playing I don't do any pieces to music in my stage show, in my illusion show, yes, but not in my stage show. So because of that, I don't really feel the need to play music. I understand how important music is, and I understand that musicality is wonderful. Ryland, if you've seen Ryland's act, most of the pieces that Ryland does is to music. But you don't need to have music in your act if you don't want to. And in this act, I don't particularly have music. So there you go. So we're now in a position where we're about to go into the final routine. So I'm 20 minutes in, and that's the other thing. When I perform magic on stage, I tend not to do many routines. So you've seen the Vanishing Bottle, you've seen Cards Across, you've seen Toxic Plus, and you've seen Cube Buster. That's 4 routines. And this last 10 minutes is going to be one final routine. So I tend to do 5 tricks. I tend to try to do longer pieces instead of shorter pieces. But obviously, really, it's down to the individual. So this is, if I ever had a signature trick on stage, this would be it. I've literally traveled the world with a wooden box and a pack of cards. And I can do 15 minutes very, very easily. In fact, back in the day when I used to do showcases, not with my illusion act, but with me individually, it used to be Vanishing Bottle, and then I would go into Destination Box. That would be the set that would do an awful lot in showcases. So here's the thing. Notice I just picked a card up. Notice I just dropped a card there, and I got the guy to pick it up. I'm joking around at this point. Like, obviously, I did the one-handed shuffle, and the card fell on the floor, and I got him to pick it up and had a joke with it. Here's the thing. Things are going to go wrong in your act all of the time. If you don't make a big deal of it, nobody else will make a big deal of it either. The time it becomes a big deal is when you make a big deal of it yourself. So if I was doing the one-handed shuffle and I dropped a card on the floor or a couple of cards on the floor, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have dropped that. I really wish I hadn't. I'm really sorry. If I make a big deal of it, then what's going to happen is the audience will pick up on that, and it really affects the performance from their point of view. So don't what I'm trying to say here is, if a mistake happens, just go with it. Just go with it. Most of the time, it only becomes an issue if the audience is aware it's an issue, and if you don't make a big deal of it, they won't make a big deal of it either. So this is a particularly long routine, as I said. So when you're performing a long routine like this, what you need to make sure of is you need to make sure that the audience are engaged in the routine all the way through. So although it's one routine, there's a couple of things I want you to note. The first is the interaction I have with the spectator on stage. Notice he's interacting with me, I'm interacting with him, we're having a laugh. Now at this point, I'm doing a lot of lines and jokes that magicians would probably consider trope or hack lines, or that sort of thing. And I've had people in the past turn around to me and say, oh, Craig does hack lines in his show. And I absolutely do. A lot of the stuff that you're seeing me do here, they're hack lines, but the audience are loving them, and that's the most important thing. The lines only become hack lines if the audience has heard them a million times. If they haven't heard them, and they're just as funny as the first time they were used, and it allows me to interact with the participant. It allows me to kind of keep the energy of the audience up, and that sort of thing is really important. Now, I've been chatting, and I completely skipped past the palm of the card. And so let's just quickly talk about that for a minute. So again, notice I'm blocking my body against his. So when the card is put into the deck, I control it to the top and I palm the card off as I hand it to him. Now notice at that point, I step closer to the spectator as I'm focusing all the attention on him. That's what I'm talking about when I say changing the frame of action. So the frame of action moves from me to him. I pass him the cards, everyone's focusing on him. Now, I can then step to one side. I've got the card in my palm and no one's going to see it because everybody's looking at the spectator. Now, the palm I love to use in this particular routine is the one-handed card palm. And the reason I like to use the one-handed card fold. And the reason I like to use the one-handed card fold is because I don't have to actually do the shuffle. I don't have to actually do the fold on the deck, because the problem with something like the Mercury card fold is the audience is watching. You're holding the deck, they're focusing. So although it's a fairly invisible move, the frame of action is on the deck as the move is being done. And that's fine for close-up, but for stage a lot of the time you don't want that. So that's why I like handing the deck over to the spectator, palming the card, moving closer so his body is blocking mine, moving the frame of action over to him, and then boom, I palm the card as he's shuffling the cards. Now, the card is already away inside the silver box. That's already done. That's already happened. All of this is byplay. Now, this moment here where the cards are going to get thrown over the head and, you know, it's kind of like, hey, on the count of three, throw the cards. This has been around for years. You know, I've seen people do this with card swords from 50 or 60 years ago. This is by no means necessary is this unique to me. However, it always gets a good laugh. And the reason it always gets a good laugh is because I genuinely 100% commit to this moment. I mean, I'm not a trained actor, I'm not a great actor, but I act my little ass off by really trying to make people believe that this was a mistake. This is the most important thing. If people think that this is a mistake, then it's a lot funnier than if they think it's a setup. And I've seen magicians do this before, and it comes across obvious that it's a setup and that it's not a genuine mistake. I've had spectators that almost every single show I do, when I do this trick, I'll have the guy that's helped me or the girl that's helped me come over to me and go, oh, I really thought I'd messed up there. Oh, I really thought, did I mess up? And did you? They really think that you messed up and you came up with some way to fix it, which is obviously not the case. But that's kind of the commitment you have to go to when you get this moment. Now, the other thing that I want to mention actually is the blindfold, because the blindfold is actually from red carpet. The reason is I do red carpet in my show. So if I'm going to use a blindfold, I'm going to use the same blindfold that I'm using either before or later. I've never understood why people have got like 2 or 3 blindfolds they use at different points in the show for different routines. My attitude is if I'm going to use a blindfold in the show, why would I not use the same blindfold for every single trick that needs a blindfold, right? Now, you're about to get to this moment where I'm building up for the big grand finale. You're about to get to the moment where I'm like, right, okay, this is your card, and I'm going to show it's been in the wooden box from the very beginning. But I'm still kind of making the audience believe that I've messed up. I'm still making the audience believe that this has gone completely wrong. Because the second I say, who's got the box, and we go out and we get the box and we bring it back, at that moment, a lot of people in the audience are going to be like, oh, wow. They're going to put 2 and 2 together and get 4. And they're going to anticipate the fact that the card is in the box in the audience. They're not going to go how that happens, but they're going to anticipate it. So I want to build up to that moment, if that makes sense. So I get the box back. Very, very important. You notice here that the box is in full view of the audience the whole time. And it's really important that the box is in full view of the audience the whole time. You don't want people to think that you've switched the box or anything like this. Now, anytime you want to... This is like the culmination of a 10-minute routine. It's really important that people don't think I've switched something or done something sneaky at this point. So I have to really go slowly here, and I have to really focus people's attention on what's happening. Now, a lot of the lines that I use in this particular routine I got from my friend Nemid Phoenix, but I love the moment where the actual move happens. You know, you put the keys away. I love that line. Are my instructions clear yet stupid? You put the keys away, and then the move happens, and nobody suspects a thing. You know, John Allen's Destination Box, in my opinion, is one of the best. It's probably the best magical purchase that I ever made. And I genuinely mean that because it's so awesome. So notice here, everything's done. All the dirty work's done. But I'm reframing. Think about this. The car, this box, was inside that lockbox in the audience from the very beginning, miles away from the key. There's no way, absolutely no way, that card could be in that box. And I'm building up the impossibility of what I know is going to happen in a couple of seconds. And I break it down even further. So first of all, I get him to press the button and tell everyone what kind of object is in there. And they say a card. And then this moment right here is the big moment when they open it up. And again, I'm asking for it. If that card is your card, every single person here is going to give you a big round of applause. Take the card. I don't want to touch it. You'll notice at no point do I touch the card. I don't need to. That's the beauty of the Destination Box. I don't need to touch the card at that point. I can literally have him take the card out himself, and I can make this as super clean as I want it to make. But notice I'm really building up to this moment. Now, in a second, I'm going to give the guy a hug, because I'm going to do what I always do at the end of this routine, which is steal his watch. Now, that's why I picked him up. I'm really good at watch steals, as long as it's like a normal strappy watch. Oh, okay. Yeah, he dropped the card there. Notice again, don't make a big deal of it. It's not important. If you don't make a big deal of it, they won't make a big deal of it. Boom. But then you get the thing. Now, look, back to the watch steal. I'm great at watch steals, but only if it's like a strap watch. I can't do, metal bands or anything. So I picked him. Notice I'm grabbing his watch right now. I've just undone the clasp. I go for the hug. I'm focused his attention over there, and I've got the watch, and it's in my pocket. It's off his wrist. Thank you very much. And he goes. The perfect time, in my opinion, to do a watch steal is at the end of a routine like this, because they think that's the end of the trick. It's a great time to shake his hand. It's a great time to give him a hug, or whatever the case may be. And it makes a perfect ending to a routine. It's like, well, the trick's ended. Thank you very much. Blah, 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 blah. And then you have that moment where you bring the watch out and you give him the watch back. And it's almost like it's the explanation point at the end of the sentence. It's that moment. So I'm not a pickpocket. I don't bill myself as a pickpocket. I'm not somebody who picks pockets. But what I am is I can do a watch steal, and that moment at the end of the trick, at the end of the show, is the perfect time to do a watch steal, because it takes an already great reaction and makes it 20 times stronger.
So there you go. Nothing else to say. Absolutely nothing else to say other than to say thank you to every single one of you for watching the video. Hopefully you found it useful, and if you did, let me know. If you'd like to see more of these live performance specials with commentary tracks over the top, let me know. They do take a while to do, but I think it's worth it, but only if you guys are getting a kick out of them as well. So let me know down below. Also, don't forget, you want to see more videos like this, like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you want to join the Netrix, which is my online streaming platform for magicians, then simply go to thenetrix.com. That's where you can learn the cards across routine in the video you just saw, as well as the vanishing bottle routine and how to actually, the real secrets of making that vanishing bottle routine work. But without further ado, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm going to shoot off now, but I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig, and this is Magic TV.